We are live.
Weird Realities explores the paranormal, preternatural, and supernatural worlds that surround us. Here we delve into those topics that challenge us to think outside the limitations of realism, where we test the boundaries of imagination and are forced to think outside the confines and restrictions of what is normal. We are the creators, the writers, the artists, and the insane. Welcome to our Weird Realities.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boils and ghouls. Welcome to tonight's episode of Watching Weird. We have the usual suspects with us: Rich Restucci, Alan Gamboa. I think Hadley was committed to an asylum for a couple of days, so in her place we have horror author Sylvester Bazzi and David Muga. Welcome, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have you. Before we begin, you know the usual, hit the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe. The more subscribers we have, the more people who get to see this and get to see our charming, pleasant faces. Tonight, we got 3 really good movies. I enjoyed both of them. Hello, Laura. How are you?
Hi, Laura.
Hey.
We've got Megan, that horrifying story, and it's not about Meghan Merkel. It's about a little robot. Hey, Ash is in the house for the whole thing.
Early.
Yes. And we also got Fall, which I thought was just a terrifying movie. Hi, Lana.
Linda's here.
Of course, I'm scared of heights, so that one just freaked the hell out of me. And we're doing episode 8 of The Last of Us. So, gentlemen, who wants to take which movie first?
Let's do Fall first.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Rich.
Oh, I can
jump.
Said
Fall.
Sacrificial lamb.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was a rock climber for many years. I actually taught a class on climbing and knots. Yeah, when I lived in Colorado. And I actually did have a fall as well. I had a couple of falls. One of them was like a 15-foot fall, and I landed on my back. It was pretty bad. But I was young, so I just shook it off and went back to work. So this movie, when they were climbing at the beginning, you see them climbing rocks at the beginning. They're climbing up the side of a mountain. Didn't really do it for me. I was like, yeah, no big deal. And I knew somebody was gonna fall. So right off the bat, there's an issue. There's 3 of them climbing. One of them dies, and the other 2 move on with their life. Then the wife of the guy that fell, she decides that she's just going to shut down. And so she shuts down and she doesn't do anything. And her dad, who's played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan's like, come on, you got to live your life and all that. She's just shutting down. Then her friend comes back. She's like, hey, I got this great idea. Let's go climb this 2,000-foot tower in the middle of nowhere. So guess what happens? They go climb the tower. If they didn't, we wouldn't have a story. Yeah. So they're up at the top of the tower. Bad things happen. Don't want to wreck it for anybody. If you are afraid of heights, this movie is going to get you. This movie is going to speak to you on an intrinsically deep level, and you're just not going to be able to shake it. Like I said, I was a rock climber. I did that stuff. I was up on the side of the mountains, and I was never as terrified as I was when I watched the first 40 minutes of this movie. So for me, when the scariest part of this entire movie was not when they were trapped up there, because everybody knows that's how this movie goes, but it was when they're climbing up. That's what really got me, because I was like, oh, what? But and the rust and the things and bolts.
Yeah.
And, oh no! Once they're up there, I'm like, well, they're screwed. They're either going to die or they're not. So it kind of went that way. There's quite a few scary scenes in this movie. There's a little bit of crazy going on towards the end, which I did not see coming at all. That was
really.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming at all. And when we get to the other movie, that I'll tell you, I saw the whole thing. But it was a surprise to me. I did not see the little bit of crazy that happened.
Yeah.
Love triangle, of course, we get that later on too. But this movie, when they were climbing up that tower, on the edge of my seat. Once they got to the top of the tower, which is where all the fear is supposed to happen, the ladder breaks away and they're trapped up there, and it's about how they survive or don't or deal with their predicament. It just kind of lost it for me. I wasn't very scared anymore. But I think that's where it was supposed to get scary. So I mean, again, it's me just being screwed up.
Yeah.
But I just didn't. It didn't do the frightening thing for me once they were up at the top. But like I said at the beginning, when they were climbing up there, that's when I was kind of shitting myself. So
I feel like movies in this genre tend to lose the tension when they finally get to things like that. So like Frozen and the pool and stuff, there's always like this moment where it's just kind of like, okay, so this is it, and then that's the rest of the movie. So yeah, I when they got to the top and they were just kind of stranded there and they're trying to figure out ways to get down, it was just kind of like a slow descent. I feel like that's why they had to toss in that whole triangle thing, because without it would just be two dumb friends that decided to like I'm happy you climbed rocks. I have no idea why anyone's doing this. Like, me and my wife were sitting there from the beginning of the movie. We're just like, why? So, like, yeah, we have we call these note movies, like movies that have situations that we will never be in. So, like, but I really liked it, and I loved the twist. And Dad was there from Supernatural, and I love him, so I always gotta support Dad. And then the guy that's in he's one of the twins in the Scream that's out now. He was the husband who fell. And I don't rock climb at all. But in the beginning, I felt like the girl who was over there free climbing with no rope, and then them climbing with a rope, I just felt like maybe they should be like synchronized and not do that. And then it also felt like his wife, I don't know if she just stumbled into this life, but she didn't seem like she was about that life. So I don't know what she was doing.
You're right. She was just terrified.
Yeah.
Just so that we're clear, you never reach into a hole like that. You don't do it.
Okay. See?
That's not done. And if you saw a cliffhanger with
I love cliffhanger.
David, what did you think of this thing?
I wasn't a huge fan of it, to be honest. I mean, watching it instantly, I thought like 47 meters down. I thought like the descent. My mind went to descent, and I was really excited about it. There were some good parts. I don't want to give too much away, but as far as like where you're talking about the crazy parts in the end, I was happy with those. That was really good. But I just couldn't get over the fact they were not prepared. And Rich, you know this very well, being a climber. I mean, I've never been that deep into it. I've scaled a few things here and there, but my old boss used to be search and rescue. He's legitimately fell down a cliffside and he survived, but he had all the right gear, and that's why he survived. They did not have any of the right gear in any of this movie. The harnesses were off. I mean, there's a reason you don't strap yourself down like that. I'm surprised their backs didn't break. But it's just, it's hard to get over like the right gear, and the fact that they're all really big climbers. They do not look like climbers. They don't have the tone for it. They don't have the muscle mass for it. The upper body strength. They don't. But putting all that aside, it's worth the watch. I like the whole thing being stuck up top. I did keep on coming back to my mind. Maybe, just maybe, you should have packed like a ram air chute.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, nobody thought to pack like a simple chute.
Just something. That's what I thought too, because I was like, they could just really glide down if they had something to help. But
with 50 feet of rope, they could have made a press of harness and gotten down anyway. So that's.
But it was definitely worth the watch. I just immediately started thinking like 47 meters down, the first one, and then The Descent, which I loved those movies. Those are really good. But it was still a good movie. Still worth the watch. It's still very much worth the watch. It just didn't compare to the other ones with the same kind of tone.
I don't normally count The Descent because that's a whole nother animal by itself. Like once they had those cave dwellers, it was a whole different thing. Fuck being stuck in the cave. It's just the fact that they're there.
Roger that.
Okay.
Big Mike, what do you say? Alan, Big Mike.
There's Alan.
Already gone. Look at him. Alan needs new Wi-Fi, probably because he's under 15 feet of snow in Nevada.
Ooh.
Can't hear you, pal.
Yeah, Alan.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
Nope.
No, sir. So, Scott, what did
All
you
right. Well, Alan tries to come out. I got to tell you, I wanted to see this movie. I'm the type of guy, I love, if I'm in a plane, a private plane at 1,000 feet, when we flew a helicopter, the Soviet helicopter into Iraq, I was hanging out the door. But I'm the type, if I have to crawl a 10-foot ladder with nothing around me for support, scares the hell out of me. I loved this movie. The first, like you guys said, the first 40 minutes was great. You knew climbing up that thing, the way nuts and bolts are popping out, it was gonna get bad. And just the idea of them being stranded up there on that tiny piece of metal. I got one major flaw with the movie. Weren't they climbing a cell phone tower?
No, it was an old television tower that's out of service. Right. Yeah, it's out of service. Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. Because I'm saying to myself, okay, there's a cell phone thing 20 feet away from them. But
yeah, it's still only going just for the light, I guess. Yeah.
It was good, but it started to get to the point. It was like, how much more can you throw at these girls? Oh, our cell phones don't work. Oh, I had an affair with your husband. Oh, let's get the drone. Oh, the drone's running out of battery power. Oh, we got the drone back running. Let's get. Oh, we're almost at the little hotel. It got to a point to me. It was just like, oh my God, this is getting ridiculous. Oh look, there's a guy. Oh, what did he do? Oh my God, I can't believe he did that. It was good. I agree with Rich. It was bizarre, but I did enjoy that batshit crazy twist near the end. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I mean, it's not one I might watch it again if a friend wanted to watch it. It's definitely worth seeing once, especially if you're scared of heights. Alan.
No.
Damn it, Alan.
Damn it, Jimbo. You are silent as hell.
And we got somebody sending us some stuff from
we get some
looks like Thailand.
Maybe hop out, hop back in.
Let's see.
See, now one thing I really thought was interesting on this was a whole year passed. Was I wrong? Like a whole year passed?
Oh yeah, from the death. Yeah, about that. Yeah.
This chick is boozing, and she's a widow. She's boozing the whole time. There's no way she's ready for that kind of climb.
No.
And no self-respecting climber would even go near that tower.
No,
no one should have went there.
And I'm like,
but
you have no reason to be on this thing.
They gave the vibe that, her friend is one of those social media and adrenaline junkies who, don't really do everything by the code and stuff. So that was the vibe that they were giving off. So I kind of went with that. I was like, I've heard a few people who have died doing dumb things just for social media. So that wasn't too hard to believe.
This is true.
I also thought that her girlfriend was a little bit too. She took risks she shouldn't have taken because of the social media. So that's why. Alan,
you good?
Alan, can you hear us? We can't hear you.
I can only imagine what he's saying.
I can read his lips. He says, "Can you hear me?"
Oh, I didn't go into the minefield. I stood at the very end of it.
Right now.
Oh.
Ash wants me to tell the story. When I was in Basra after the war, the Americans the British had bombed a train station. and there were T-34s all tipped over the place. And every time we'd go out, we'd go in and we'd take visitors in, and we'd all be standing there in front of the knocked over T-34, taking the photos like we were game hunters. And I sent the pictures back to my first wife, and I get an email. Are you an asshole? Did you look on the ground? And when we studied the photos, there was ordnance spread all over the place. 10 rounds, mortar shell. None of us saw it. You know, we're just like, oh, we got to get the cool picture in front of us. While we're waiting for others, we've got a lot of people who joined us. Mona joined us. Londa was already here. That unusual person from God knows where. Craig, I think we said hi to Craig already. Londa Hadley joined the group. I think Mike is here. That wasn't China. That was, I think, Southeast Asia. The Chinese would have banned us by now. Let's see. And Tina was here. So
Tony, I just showed up.
Okay. So while we're waiting for Alan, what would we give this movie?
I'll go first, and I'll give it a 3.5. Scared the crap out of me for 15 minutes, and then it just kind of settled down. So I'll take that scary bit and give it a 3.5.
Okay.
So that's what I think.
I would give it like a 3.5 out of 5. I think there's a lot better like situations, kind of like 47 meters down was better. I liked Frozen a little more. I liked ATM a little more. Like
now,
this
we're not talking the Disney Frozen, right? The first time you said that, I'm like, why is that scary?
No, but yeah, there's better movies with basically like the same concept. This one, it was creepy because you got to see the height, but I mean, I was sitting in my bed, so it didn't give me that much effect.
It did have great special effects for the height.
Yeah, and the the vulture didn't scare me, so yeah, 3.5.
Okay. David,
I have it down as a 3.0, like a solid 3. I mean, just simply because I couldn't get past the training issue, and I couldn't get past the gear they had. They just were not prepared. But I did really like the twist. I mean, the one you saw coming a mile away, but the other twist, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Okay. And I'd give it a 3.5 myself. It was good. The climb up was scary. Some of the initial scenes when they were up there were scary, but just it got to the point. It was like almost comical with everything they tried wouldn't succeed. So
I totally forgot when they got robbed. That blew my mind. When they got robbed, I was like, what? Really?
It was like everything that could happen to these two girls was happening to them, you know? I was almost waiting for somebody to shoot it down because they thought it was a spy balloon or something.
Alan.
I'm going to give it a 2.5.
Really?
It worked.
Yeah. I like this movie. It was dumb. It was a dumb movie. I mean, it just was. I don't know. I just didn't like it. My wife didn't like. She stopped watching. So I watched the rest of it. I'm like with Sylvester. Why? Why are you gonna climb up? How much fun? It's like work. I could go to work and work.
I know. It's ridiculous.
I could go paint my house and climb a ladder. Why do I want to climb a ladder in the middle of the desert where there's birds and
then you gotta climb back down? Like
yeah. Climbing down's the part that sucks. I used to flunk, and we would climb down into little. I'm claustrophobic anymore. I cannot do that anymore. I used to do it all the time. I cannot. You cannot get me. There's only a few small spaces you can go into. But anyway, I give this a 2.5.
I'm terrified, but I would like to I'd like to think I could try it and do it. But
what, climb one of those towers?
climb a
Yeah,
ladder.
but I'd
They
probably
pay-
get up like 10 feet and then say, no, I'm going to go back to the hotel.
I mean, they pay you good money to change those light bulbs.
Yeah,
You only got to do it like twice a year or something. Yeah.
Yeah, 20,000 every time you do it. And Ash,
Not enough.
it's not you falling down the stairs. It's the dog pushing you down the stairs. Okay, so really, this movie didn't get much more. It got between 2.5 and 3.5. All right, David, do you want to take M3Gan?
Do I want to take M3Gan? Sure.
Sure.
What do I got? All right. So M3Gan's a relatively recent movie. So an AI girl doll is programmed to be the companion for a child and ally in the beginning for the parents. It's designed by this supposed to be brilliant robotist, like scientist, Gemma, and uses her 8-year-old niece, who she just gained custody through a very sad accident. And she uses the prototype, which is M3Gan, to help console her niece as she's going through the grief process of that accident with her parents. And from there, it just turns into what we see in a lot of AI movies, and AI learning how to take care of itself. But also, it's very important to note that prime objective of the AI is to take care of her, the little girl, and make sure nothing bad ever happens to her, harms her emotionally and physically. So that's a major plot point.
Yeah.
That goes. But it kind of goes all downhill from there.
I thought adding emotionally was a bit much to add to tell the AI, like, make sure you take care of her emotionally too. I was just like, that just felt like the AI is going to kill someone that makes her cry. Like, why would you say that?
This is absolutely true. And I started to notice that, like, partway through, I'm like, a lot of little kids get very angry over very silly things.
Yeah.
So giving them the power of a very strong AI. When they were talking about, like, titanium skeletal structure, I'm like, why would you do that? There's so many movies out there never to do that.
Yeah.
You make
The
them out of
Terminator taught us
very.
nothing.
What's that?
I said the Terminator taught us nothing.
I know it did. It taught us nothing. I'm like, you guys have never seen iRobot. You guys have never seen Terminator.
Yeah.
Like, apparently you guys don't understand. None of these people watched any of those movies growing up.
It's crazy because it's like, basically in my head, it was the company that made Furby decided to make a Terminator robot in the basement. And I was just like, okay. and what tripped me was the price tag, $10,000. I was like, who's buying this fucking toy? What is going on? Like, no. It was, oh my God.
But overall, I mean, I thought it was a pretty good movie.
I didn't see coming either.
What's that?
So there wasn't 2 seconds of this movie that just wasn't telegraphed. It was every portion of it was so easy to see. Literally everything, all the way through. You could say this is going to happen, and it happened. This is going to happen, and it happened. It turned me right off.
See, I like the beginning of it because what M3Gan did to the people that were mean to the girl, that bully deserved everything he got.
Yeah,
but then I realized, that's what they're doing. They're like, M3Gan's a good, M3Gan's protecting her until M3Gan goes completely over the deep end.
But I mean, I felt like that was kind of like a problem for me because, like, if you compared it to like Child's Play, the fear of Chucky is that he's going after Andy, who's all innocent. He's going after the mom. But in M3Gan, everyone that M3Gan goes after, you don't care about because they're a piece of crap and they're just like terrible human beings. So she was kind of like an anti-hero. So you weren't really scared of her. You just kind of wanted to see what she was going to do to some asshole next. So.
And I don't know, am I the only one that saw like dark comic undertones throughout most of the first half of this movie?
Yes. It was kind of satirical. Yeah, I like that. The way they played it, the whole toy company and the commercial.
Yeah.
And all. Well, my favorite part is when she kills the guy in the elevator, and she's telling him, you're gonna be so sad that you killed this guy, and all that. You can't live with yourself. Like, I can live with
it. Yeah. He's like, no, I'm good. I love that part. That part was hilarious. He was like, you killed him. He's like, no, I didn't. You did. It's like, okay.
Just don't kill me.
My youngest daughter is really big into horror movies too, and she was watching this. She's like, these memes are everywhere of this girl dancing, like the robot dancing. I guess it's everywhere with her dancing.
Yeah.
And when that scene came up, I couldn't help but laugh. I'm like, what is going on right now?
Yeah,
but
that was
a lie. The chase scene in the woods, I was like, that's not bad. I kind of wish we'd go faster. But that's what I expect a robot to kind of do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the dancing, it was a big selling point when the first trailer came out, and like everybody just kind of latched onto it, and they were like splicing in music and stuff. Like I saw that meme everywhere. So
yeah. So what would you guys do this one? Feel bad.
And listen, Londa asked, and in honor of Jen, who's not here, we have to rate it on the dong system.
The dong system.
I will give it 1 dong because it was so ridiculously predictable. The doll wasn't scary. I mean, it was all wrecked at the end, and then it got a little frightening. And I did like the Bruce robot. So the Bruce robot will earn it $1. You know what I didn't like was that goddamn kid. I wanted to just freaking slap her right across the face, and I mean you can't do that anymore. What a little shit that kid was. She smacked her caregiver. She smacked her aunt. I mean, no kid would do that. Well, you feed that kid.
She did just kind of lose her parents probably like 3 months ago.
I know, but you can't be a little shit like that. I mean,
I just feel like the aunt should have sent her to Florida. Like you weren't equipped to deal with this kid. I don't see why you didn't just send her to the grandparents. Like
she thought
that whole family is lacking common sense, though. I mean, at the very beginning. Oh my God! My car was 4x4. I'm like, who doesn't know their car is 4x4?
Oh, and to park right in the middle, it was just like
that was the only scary part. It was the only scary part of the movie was in the snow park. That was it.
But Rich, to be honest, I mean, I work in public education. There are kids like that. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it.
There are kids like that. A lot of wonderful children, but yeah, there are kids like that.
I like the fact that they were showing how the girl was getting more attached to Megan than her own aunt. But like Rich said, when she started slapping people around, that would have been it. She wouldn't have stopped. That kid wouldn't have stopped rolling to the end of the movie. And let's face it, if she spoke like that to any of us, most of us would have at least off the back of the head.
See, and then you would have Megan after you.
Yeah, well, yeah. I got to admit, though, and I'm not going to give anything away, I did think the ending was just a little bit... It was just stupid. How they went after Megan. It was like, oh, for God's sake. It reminded me, I can't remember the movie. It reminded me of an old Stallone movie. The one with Amanda Sante.
Oh, Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd.
Yes.
I am the law.
So, what did we give this? You, Rich, you gave it what?
I'll give this a 1.
One limp dong?
Yeah.
Okay. Sylvester?
So
I called you Steven before. I am sorry. Don't.
You did. I was trying to figure out who you started.
So I am just so brave. There are times I look at my family and have to okay, which one is that?
It's fine. Although I didn't like the fact that everyone she killed was like an asshat, so you had no sympathy or anything. I really liked Megan. I got a good kick out of it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I love when she came up from that dog attack and looked all wild and looking at the neighbor. So I'd give it 4. I liked it more than I liked Fall. So yeah. And they're already making Megan 2. Everybody get ready for it.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they already started writing it.
Okay, so if they want to make that better, this doll needs to be mainstreamed in 100,000 houses throughout the U.S.
I think that's what's gonna happen.
Let's have some fun with this.
Robot.
Why not? Just go all the way. I work in auto parts. Craig said I work in auto parts. 75% of people have no idea the car is 4x4 or not. That is mind blowing. That is super scary.
It is, but you know, that's
I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah, me neither. I never would have thought that. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised. I guess I'm not from Craig's comment. Today, I guess I'm not surprised. But how could you not know your car is 4-wheel drive?
I mean, it's just like fall. They weren't prepared for anything. They had the worst tires. They're going into a blizzard. Like it was just terrible. That was a terrible death.
No common sense. Hey, I'm gonna drive with no 4x4, no chains in a blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm gonna give this robot feelings. Horrible ideas.
And then while we're driving in the blizzard, let's stop in the middle of the road.
I know.
Go over to the side so nothing can hit us.
Where the fuck were they going? The Shining Hotel? I just like this at the top of the hills.
They have a 1-second shot of the hotel. I was like, holy crap, that looks like the hotel.
Yeah. So,
well, at least I'm in the 50% that does know the name of the car. So I called it. I don't know what I'd give this. I'd give this probably 2.5. I mean, I loved the scene when she killed the bully. I was just like, that was so well deserved in that. But the guy in the elevator. But after that, it was just sort of like, yeah, it became predictable and wasn't that good. So 2.5 dongs for me. Who else hasn't? Alan.
I'd give it a 3.5. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it better than Fall.
Yeah.
Sylvester, I thought it was funny.
Yeah. I got a lot of laughs out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like, ha ha ha, but I think kind of like RoboCop came out, some of the humor in it.
Yeah.
Was aimed that way. It wasn't as short, of course. RoboCop was great. But I thought it was funny. I didn't think of it as a horror movie. I thought more of a thriller. And I didn't think the acting was too bad. And I thought if you had thousands of kids that were acting like that girl, if they couldn't have their M3Gan, or if they got attuned into that M3Gan, what kind of horrors would that be for parents, guardians, whatever, across?
That's true.
I thought that point should have been expanded on. Her anger and her fit throwing, her rage. I thought, well, that's pretty cool, because you see kids do that with video games right now, or their game stations or whatever.
Candles, yep.
You take it away from them, they're like, ah. So I like that part. It wasn't a great movie. It wasn't a perfect movie or anything, but I'd give it 3.5. I don't know if I'd watch it again, but I would recommend it.
I mean, we gotta keep it going because I'm holding out for the M3Gan crossover. I want to see her take on Chucky. I want to see her meet Annabelle. I'm holding out for all of it. They already trash each other on Twitter, so.
Ash, that's the NC-17 remake of it.
I'm pretty sure you can find that on the hub somewhere.
I'm sure, yeah.
David,
did anybody not vote yet on this?
David, did you give a rating?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm right in the middle with this one. Whereas, she wasn't scary at all as far as face. That actually kind of creeps me out more. I don't know if you guys... so I had some older family members with those porcelain dolls always hanging up in the rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
So her little porcelain-looking face, that was kind of scary to me. But besides that, it was. You could see everything coming. But I'm also a fan of bad guys getting their comeuppance in the end. So I give it a 3.
Okay.
What was it? Give it
a 3.
A 3. All right.
What do y'all think was the best?
I'm sure Ash does.
What do you think was the best death? What's everyone's favorite death from M3Gan?
It's got to be the bully.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like the guy that got the paper cutter.
Which one?
The boss.
The first one?
The boss guy.
I kind of liked him. I was kind of sad he left.
I kind of liked her killing the neighbor. I don't know what it was about the neighbor.
Yeah.
I was pretty okay that she needed to die, but like part of me was like, Megan, you're killing too close to home now. Like they're gonna figure it out.
I didn't like the fact that she got the dog.
You didn't like it?
No, I mean it's a dog. You know,
I didn't want the dog to die.
No, I never want the dog to die. Humans, yeah, I don't care.
That dog did bite. What is it, Katie or whatever her name is?
Oh yeah,
Like,
the dog was an asshole, but the dog was an asshole because the owner was the asshole.
True.
All right, so now, Sylvester,
Yeah.
take the episode 8 of The Last of Us.
Episode 8 of The Last of Us. So we're picking up from episode 7 where Joel got shanked with a baseball bat. I didn't see it coming. He was fighting off some dude. The bat broke on a pole. He choked out the guy, and then he's got a big old handle in his stomach. So Joel's kind of like TKO'd right now. He's laying down in the basement on a bed. And so this is a full Ellie focused episode. And she has to get Joel medicine. She has to go get Joel food. And apparently she's become a badass with a sniper. She takes down a nice little dare and runs into two dudes who tried to steer. And we figure out that they are attached to the people that tried to kill Joel. And I don't know. I felt like I built this episode up in my head because like I didn't finish playing the game, but everyone was like, he's the worst character and this is the worst moment in the game. And then like when I was done with the episode, I kind of felt like, because I read like Walking Dead comic books and stuff, I felt like Negan and them were a little worse than this guy. But so the group leader, it's kind of like this mini little cult that's living in like this snowy town. He tells Ellie that he used to be a teacher. That's the scariest part about it because he's a psychopath who likes little girls. And you know, are we spoiling it for anybody?
I don't.
Go for it.
I wouldn't go too far into that part of it, the last part, but
okay. Well, I mean, shit happens in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
So, but like, I've loved every episode. I just felt like I built up how terrible these group of people were supposed to be, and then they didn't seem too terrible to me. Even like once I got deeper into it and like I learned about their leader, I felt like the guys that wanted to kill Ellie, they didn't want to kill Ellie. They wanted to basically give her a mercy killing because they were like, it's going to be way worse for her when she comes here. That's the whole vibe I was getting, because like when she was knocked down on the floor, they were like, do it. And I was like, why are they so gung-ho about killing this little girl? And then like everything happened. So I was just like, I feel like their daughters had to go through it. Their family had to go through it. And they just didn't want another girl to go through it.
that I had never thought of that point until you just brought that up. David, what did you think?
It was good. I'm excited for the last episode. I liked the whole spectrum of emotions. I guess I'm kind of a stickler for facts and how the way things should be. Penicillin's an IM shot, I believe. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there, the way it's supposed to be taking care of people. So, but I mean, I think that actually might have made it worse long term. I've talked to some of my medical professional people I know, but overall it's really, really good. And I obviously like the fact that Joel came back. And I like the fact that she turned into I don't want to give anything away. She turned into a really interesting character, very dynamic. And I liked it very much.
Yeah. Ellie really came into her own in this one. Like she was a badass and really enjoyed it.
She had to be badass in this one.
Yeah.
I can't believe this kid's not going to win an Emmy. She's by far the best actor on the show. She's just fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Everything she does, even the way she swears, is just great. It's fantastic. Now, for me, The Last of Us, the entire series, there's been 8 episodes. 4 of them were good, and 4 of them were just kind of. I'm not going to say it was bad television because it wasn't. It was really well acted, really well scripted, and it was good television. It just didn't fit what I wanted it to fit. I want zombies in my zombie show. But the thing is, at the end of the day, this isn't a zombie show. No. This is a show about the relationship between Joel and Ellie.
Yeah.
And this is on me, but the series itself, I think, is kind of a bust because it doesn't have what I wanted it to have. That said, again, great TV. But this episode, episode 8, one of my favorites. Definitely in one of the 4 good ones. I kind of like the one where the zombies came out of the ground and just killed them.
Yeah, the fifth. I think it was the 5th one. Yeah,
that was 5.
But this one was a different type of terror. This one was any woman, as a young girl that sees what happens in this episode is going to be really it's frightening. And you can just see the fear in this kid's eyes. This is another reason that she needs an Emmy. Until it was time to not be afraid. And then she just kind of, I won't wreck it for everybody. Still needs an Emmy. So she was great. I highly recommend this episode. This is one of the better ones. Yeah. And there's still no zombies in it. There's not a single zombie in the whole damn episode, but it was very good.
And there's only one in last episode, right?
Yeah.
Was there even one in the last episode? Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was the flashback. The
flashback to the mall. Yeah.
Yeah, the backstory. Yeah. There's only one, I thought.
Yeah,
it's only one.
That again, that was good television, but it wasn't what I wanted to see. I wanted to see something else. Even the part with the zombie in the last one was kind of slow. It wasn't that great. I mean, it was a couple minutes of being afraid, but we already knew where it was going anyway because that's how we know she gets infected. But yeah, this one was really good. 1, 2, 5, and 8, I think, are the 4 good ones, and the other ones, like I said, good television, just not what I wanted.
I think like every other show, which is weird since there's only 9 episodes. But The Last of Us, they have filler episodes. But as far as filler episodes go, they're really good filler episodes.
Yeah, good television.
Yeah. So I'm kind of in the camp that felt like, because it feels like they're doing the whole first game for season 1. I mean, they got 1 episode to prove me wrong, but that's what it feels like. And I feel like they could have stretched that out. They probably could have got 2 seasons out of the first video game. But
I agree. Yeah, I think the filler episodes, the one in the mall and the one with Ron Swanson, I think those were decent episodes, but both of those could have been relegated to 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes of backstory, and just get on with it, and then do other stuff. But I mean, clearly people like this, so they're doing something right.
Oh yeah, people are loving.
It's funny. What I notice on the pages, the Facebook pages, is if you liked the game, you love this show. If you didn't play the game, you're more critical of the show. So there's a part of me now that wants to play the game, but it's like, well, I know what's going to happen next. Alan, what did you think?
I thought it was a solid episode.
Yeah.
Did you know that the guy that played the cult leader's second right-hand man was the one that plays Joel in the movie and does the voice for Joel?
The voice of Joel.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Nice little.
I really like.
Always make the crazy. Why do they always make them crazy Bible thumpers? Why don't they? Why couldn't it be any other religion? Why do they always throw out Christians as these crazy people? Are they easier to offend? I'm just throwing it out there. Do you want to? you can't have them thumping the Quran or the Book of Mormon or Seventh Day Adventist. You know what I mean? It's always got to be straight Bible. I think that bugged me. That part bugged me because it was, what do you call it? A trope. It was an easy, low hanging. Because I know in the game, they're not religious cult. I believe they're just a crazy group of people. And I'm not gonna say what they are because a lot of people haven't watched it yet.
I definitely feel like a book they could have did like Mormons. Mormons definitely would have went over. I just feel like in society or in our history, we've had like the Jonestown, and we've had a lot of religious kind of like Christian based cults. So I think that's why they just lean towards that. But given the way he was acting, that Mormons would have fit that a lot better.
I think you're right.
See, I loved the beginning of it.
They're the more religion. They're the more preppers. Food cabinet. You know, they're more of a prepper.
Well, then that wouldn't fit them at all because those fuckers were starving. So
I have a different take on this. While I agree with everything you said, Alan, it seems to me that their cult leader wasn't religious. He wasn't a Bible thumper. He was making it up so that he could get that whole place under control, and it worked because they were all doing. Well, they were doing they were all engaging in a reprehensible act. Some of them unawares, but still, I kind of felt I got that he was always a bad guy, and he used the Bible to keep these people in line.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Kind of like with the Book of Eli. That was the whole concept of Book of Eli.
See, I liked it. I liked it at the beginning because I thought it was a poor religious group, and that David was using religion to keep the group together. And what I liked about the beginning of it was, at first I thought, wow, we're seeing the other side of it. You know, we only see Joel and Ellie. Now we're seeing the people that Joel killed. We're seeing the daughter. And which, at first I'm thinking, oh, now we're seeing that maybe Joel and Ellie aren't always the good guy in this. But as that group went on, David just you got to see deeper and deeper into his soul. Mm-hmm. And he is fucked up beyond belief. And, and just when you think, because, at the beginning I was thinking, okay, he's a little bit like Negan or the governor. There's two sides to him, and he's trying to hold his group together. But then you just started to realize this guy he's fucked up beyond recognition. He was just insane. And
I like how evil Joel could get.
Yeah.
But
that's the flashback we need. All I keep hearing is we did some things. Fuck you do. I want to know.
But I got to admit, I like that scene because if somebody was doing that to my family under these circumstances, I wouldn't have let him live.
Oh yeah, I love that threatening to pop off on me. Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, oh, he's going to keep them tied up. And then when he just started going all apeshit on him, it's just like, okay, that hit the realistic mark. And the way Ellie just challenged that guy, like, I'm not giving anything away, but like when she breaks his finger and then he says, that's it, I'm going to get you. And she says, oh, well, tell Ellie. And he goes, what do you mean? He goes, tell everybody that it was the girl Ellie that broke your effing finger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you could see through that episode, I mean, right at the end, she just went over the edge.
Yeah.
Not that I blame her.
She was driven there.
She was driven there.
Most definitely. That dude was trash. But I still felt like kind of like, because like in the comic books or the Walking Dead comic books, I know Negan was like people's wives and stealing people's wives and stuff like that. And the governor, he was a rapist and he kept his daughter in his his zombie daughter in his closet. I thought they were more just higher level than this dude. Like, I feel like if he amasses a big group, he's gonna be worse, most definitely. But at the level he is right now, I didn't really think like he's the big bad that everyone was talking about.
Now, see, a couple of you brought up the fact that everybody in the group had suffered under him. And I didn't see that. I saw it as he was with the rest of the group. He was more lenient. Yeah, he slapped the girl to keep her in line. I never really took it as he abused those women because he didn't respect them.
Oh, well, I don't know. He basically said, "I'm your daddy now," and that just seemed creepy to me. So,
that is true. See, I saw it as these people were followers. Even when like James was questioning him and he just ignored James and, do what I'm telling you to do, that he really had that.
Yeah.
He connected with Ellie, and Ellie just no, she didn't want to have any part of him.
Yeah.
I just felt like it's very reminiscent of like kind of like Mormon cults and stuff, where it's just like groups come in for the lifestyle or for the safety and for the family, and then sooner or later they're marrying off their wife to the leader and they're marrying off their daughter to the leader. And that's the vibe that I got from him. I felt like he just, like, all those women there were his women, and he liked Ellie because Ellie was new. Ellie seemed younger than the rest of the girls that he had too, and Ellie seemed like when you see these coats, they were like, "Oh, you're the new wife." That's basically what it was to me. I felt like he was gonna be like, "You're gonna be my new wife, and we're gonna rule these 15 people." Like,
Now, I'm going to talk a spoiler, so if anybody hasn't seen it, just sort of put your finger in your ear.
Oh, no, most definitely.
One thing
it was all Tommy's fault.
One thing I don't understand is, where were they getting their source of food?
It was the people. The girl said, my father died, and then he said, she said, "Can't we bury him?" He's like, "No, we'll bury him in the spring."
Yeah.
God,
you didn't get that? Yeah, they're just anyone that dies, they probably went back and so I think anyone that dies in the group, they pretty much just string them up.
Because there were like 2 bodies in that in that place. And I'm trying to think, who was the second one? Okay, that makes sense.
Remember in the beginning, not the beginning, the end of the last episode when Joel gets hurt, they actually go to attack him. It's not like because it wasn't like they're just being nice. Like, hey, what do you guys want to do? You guys want to trade for supplies?
No, they jumped him.
So they weren't after Tyr, they were after people.
Yeah. Okay, no, that makes a lot of sense now. Yeah.
I like how when he sat down, he had that big old plate and everybody else was starving. They had little bowls.
I know, right?
There with his spread, I thought that was pretty telling. He wasn't sacrificing anything.
So, what did you guys think of this one compared to all the others? Was this your favorite?
It was up there.
Yeah.
It was good.
Tough to beat the first one. The first one was really good because it was you saw that what was going to happen, and then when they bounced forward 20 years. The second one was also pretty good because you had crap tons of zombies. Fifth one, same thing. Very good. Lots of zombies. And then this one, no zombies to speak of, but a different type of terror and a different type of, holy crap, is this really happening?
Yeah.
So I put this in the top 5.
Yeah, I would. This is my second favorite. My first favorite is the third one. The relationship between the 2 guys, I thought that was one of the most brilliantly written TV shows. I mean, I almost cried at the end of that. But this one, not having played the game, I didn't see any of this coming. So
you just wanted to see Nick Offerman at the Home Depot, huh?
Yes. All right,
No.
gentlemen, we're starting to run into the show. So, what do you guys all got coming up? Sylvester.
I don't know. I got a lot of projects, but nothing that I could like talk about. I have nothing coming out until probably like the end of this year. But you guys can always get the Briggs Boys. It's free everywhere. And Planet Dead paperbacks are available in all major stores now. So that's cool.
All right, awesome, cool. David.
Book 3 of The Radius should be out pretty soon. I was talking to Punch Audio, and there's some holdbacks on a few things just because of everything going on, but they should always be done. And I'm fine-tuning something new called The Negative. I'm hoping to have it ready around summertime.
Great. Alan.
Johansson and I have a episode of Lowballing this Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific. We're going to be interviewing Sean Linscomb, the writer of the Ranch series, the best-selling Ranch series, not Ashton Kutcher and Sam Elliott.
Oh, okay.
And
I was wondering.
Yeah, and I'm working on a couple books, and I just got asked to for another writer's book, so I'm pretty good about that.
Okay, Rich.
I've got 3 anthology stories going. I'm writing the 5th book in the Theory series, and I just started another story that's going to coincide with the Vampire Tank story.
Cool.
Oh, good. How is that Vampire Tank story going?
I'm at about 65,000 words.
Oh, wow.
Ooh,
I did a little. I haven't been sleeping very well, so I've been trying to write a little.
Okay. That's good. Well, not the sleep thing, but
this weekend I'm going to be at the Northeast Comic Con and Collectibles Extravaganza, Boxborough, Mass. I've got all my books there. I'm hoping to sell them all. Tomorrow morning, the full cover reveal for Nurse Alyssa 9 comes out. I will also be, the book's going to be released on the 6th. I was going to release it April 1st, but I'm going to be in Virginia that weekend. So I kicked it up a few days. That way I'm going to try to do 2 or 3 book launches. And coming out this summer before the next Tatiana book, I'm going to release my first espionage novel.
Cool.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, Scott, who are you going to be in this?
nice.
I'm sorry?
Who are you going to be in April 1st?
Did I say who I'm going to be? I'm going to be in Virginia. Lucky Virginia. All right. Is there anything else? Oh, wait a minute. One more thing. I know. And they always say us guys are the ones that are dirty minded. But it's Hadley and Jen. So, all right. Is there anything else?
I think that about covers it, my friend.
I would just like to say that I think the past 3 episodes is all Tommy's fault. Tommy should have helped his brother out. I blame Tommy for everything that has happened since.
Fair enough.
What are we talking about? Which show?
Last
Brother.
Tommy is Joel's brother.
Oh. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Again, hit like, hit subscribe, and we will see you all next Thursday.
Hey, special thanks to Sylvester and David for coming on.
Oh, yeah.
Gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Dragon.